Start with a couple of hemp bills here in North Carolina. There's been a lot of discussion, and I know for now regulators are in recess. They'll be back in the next month or so. But Governor Josh Stein in June just asked for the creation of this North Carolina Advisory Council on cannabis, trying to recognize some of what the industry looks like in North Carolina, getting experts involved in that. And so let me just set the scene, because there are two bills that have been really discussed here at the state level. And we do have two guys, two experts, in my opinion, who own a dispensary in the area, who are talking about their business and how this could be impacted to them. But we'll get to them in just one second. But first, North Carolina House Bill 328. It's a recent piece of legislation here in North Carolina that is really trying to regulate, which is really a growing hemp industry in the state. It's exploding in North Carolina. And really, this is all about aiming to regulate these certain types of products, whether it's THCA, Delta 9, Delta 8. There are certain amounts that will be allowed in terms of this law, right? And so I don't necessarily want to say that there are no laws on the books with this. Obviously, you have to be at a certain age to have CBD cannabis products within North Carolina already. But there are, in House Bill 328, some testing requirements, packaging requirements. There's a ton of other things. And then the biggest thing is the age restriction of this that really prohibits the sale to anyone under 21 years old. Then you have Senate Bill 265, which is totally different. And this is also an age restriction bill in some respects, but really fine-tuning the regulation of sales, production, and distribution. So testing standards, school grounds ban, that's a big one, part of this. Penalties. So there are a number of guidelines that go along with these bills. And folks both for this and against it as well. And we did reach out to some regulators who have sponsored this bill, one from Gastonia, who I'm still waiting to hear back from. Have not gotten them to get back with me just yet, but as I said, I do know they're on recess. So hoping to get the other side in terms of what they're trying to do at the state to regulate these products. But let's bring in Drew and Eric, who are the co-owners, or the owners, I should say, of we have Carolina High Life dispensaries here in Charlotte. Guys, appreciate your time. Let's just start with the impact. I know you guys have been vocal about this and what this could do to the industry. So let's start with the industry. Give me some really good bits of information, because there's a lot of stigma around cannabis. You know, it's a stigmatized type of word. I think, folks are it's not necessarily something that they're in the dark about, right? But normally people don't talk a lot about it. So let's just start there. Talk about the industry you guys are in, and like I said, it's exploding right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. First of all, thanks for having us on, Colin. We're always happy to talk about cannabis. I don't know about expert goes. Maybe we're experts in actually smoking the cannabis, but some of these laws, are newer, and we're trying to learn ourselves about them. But just kind of introducing, cannabis and hemp to North Carolina, if you don't know about it, I mean, it's medicine. That's first and foremost what it is from the earth. It's such a better alternative than any of the prescription drugs you're looking at, or if you're just looking to have a good time, it's such a much better alternative than alcohol, So we're trying to educate our customers. We're trying to put the word out. We need to end some of these stigmas, like the devil's lettuce and stuff, and how it's bad for you, makes you lazy, all this stuff. Trying to end all that and just educate people and just talk about how good of a plant it is and how it's great for this community in multiple ways.
Especially if it's grown right and if it's sold right, then that's the most important thing. You don't want to just be putting anything in your body. So that is why we have a store the way we do. To just let people know there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And if we can educate them, then we can help them make the right decision on what they're doing with themselves.
I love that. Now let's talk about some of the products that are not only on your shelves, but on North Carolina's shelves, as a whole. What type of products do you guys have? And again, these are within regulation here in North Carolina. So these are products that you can get over the counter that are totally legal, correct?
Absolutely.
Correct. So we have two different styles of business, I would say. Carolina High Life is really focused on high quality, 100% organic products, none of the BS in there, just all the good stuff, like the good stuff of the plant. Because cannabis, the industry of cannabis is just like any other industry. Like I'll compare it to fast food or food in general, I should say. You know, you can have a really nice steak or you could buy a McDonald's hamburger. Which one do you want? Not all cannabis is created equal. Not all food is created equal, just like, you know, the alcohol industry or whatever. So what we try to focus is on that higher end, right? The organic steak product, if you will, because when you go to the lower end, kind of what Eric was saying is you get some of these fillers in there or these things like THCP that shouldn't be in there. They're just trying to
They're trying to,
much like a McDonald's hamburger, they're trying to cut costs.
Yeah,
They're trying to cut their own costs.
make more money. They
It's
don't
all about the bottom line.
Yeah, they don't care
Right.
about the person. They just want to make the quickest dollar they can. And we don't want that to happen. We want the plant to be consumed the right way. We want people to enjoy it the right way.
And not harm their bodies.
Yeah, not harm their bodies, because
Right.
doing these other things, you never know the long-term aspects of it. You know,
Yeah, we don't know what THCP can do to you in 5 years. It just came out.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only reason it was invented was because to create a filler for these non-legal states like North Carolina, you know, you can't ship a THC disposable to North Carolina, but you can ship a THCP disposable to North Carolina. What is THCP? Well, a lot of people, the jury's still out on it, what it is, and is it good for you? We don't think it's good for you, but nobody knows really, is it good for you or not, because it hasn't had time to be tested and tried and you know, put through all the ringer there. So what we try to do is just give you, the customer, the best product, the most organic product. We don't want you to put anything in your body that we wouldn't put in our own bodies, right?
Exactly.
Or anything that's going to potentially harm you in the future. Like we're just trying to provide medicine and a good time and not cause any side effects, right? Like alcohol and these other places do. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that was a great answer. I think that lets people know, right? I think that was a great comment, right? You're not selling anything that you wouldn't put in your own body. So I think that lets people know, you know,
Right.
what type of standard you guys hold your product to. So that's great to hear. Let's talk about the impact to business that both of these, you know, HB 328 and SB 265. In terms of, you know, we don't have to get into the politics of this because I know it's been very politicized lately, but what could this do to your business? Because it seems like certain products could literally be wiped off the shelves. I mean, and a lot of products have some of these things like, you know, Delta 9, there's a specific amount of Delta 9 supposed to have it. And I know you guys know that, Delta 8. So just kind of explain what that looks like for us, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I think it comes down to a couple things with these bills. And, you know, Eric and I can't really talk about the politics of it. We know we're not in Raleigh. You know, we barely know what a bill is. We hope this one passes. So we don't know a lot about the politics, but what we do know is what's happening on the street. And what I can tell you is just having dispensaries open like ours is eliminating a lot of the drug dealers or plugs or whatever you call it out on the streets because for a few reasons. Or for the first reason is it's the same price. You can buy an eighth from us for $40. You go to the gas station and meet Willie Lump Lump, you can buy an eighth for $40. Which one are you going to choose? Are you going to go to the gas station, potentially get robbed? Or are you going to come in a safe environment where you have choices? You know, things have been tested. You know that we're scanning IDs. We're not giving away our products to children. You have to have it. We have an ID scanner in our store. So what we are doing is we are eliminating the plugs because they can't keep up with us. It's the same price. Everybody eventually is going to come to our stores, right? So that does a couple of things. You know, I think these bills, what they're concerned about is
regulation,
is keeping these products out of the reach of children, right? Well, by having these stores and regulating the process, you're eliminating the plug out there, right? You're eliminating the drug dealer. And the kid, they're not going to be around anymore to sell to your children. They're not going to be at the gas station because they're not going to exist. You know, we're going to take over the market, all these legal dispensaries, and we're carding everybody. We have to. You know, we're checking IDs. So the minors, the the amount of drugs getting into the minors' hands is actually going to be reduced,
Absolutely.
if you ask me. And then on the same token, people care about keeping it out of the kids' hands, right? And they also care about the health risk.
Yes.
Like you want to know what you put in your body. You don't want to put these chemicals, these synthetic nutrients that they use to grow the product.
You don't want to spray. You don't want to spray
cancer,
product. Yeah, you don't want
right?
to spray product, or you don't want any kind of PGRs or anything put in your inside your medicine that you're taking. That's not very healthy for you at all. It's not good.
It can cause cancer.
Yeah, and you never know the effects. The effects of it, especially if you have children that are getting it off the street, which we want to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways we can do it, by having these type of stores.
Yeah. A quick story. We have a customer. He started out with us and he moved here from Ohio. He didn't have anywhere to go when he moved here. He didn't know where to buy his product from, where to buy his medicine from. He went to a gas station and bought it, and that product was laced with fentanyl. And he was in the hospital for 3 days just because he didn't have a source to go to, a trusted source to go to. So we're looking out for the health, the general health of the public. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to put anybody at risk. So you got the youth, you got the health, and then just the revenue aspect of it. I mean, put 2% on all sales, all cannabis sales in North Carolina, and do something with that money. Do something good with it. Pay the teachers more, build,
Absolutely.
fix the roads. Take advantage. Don't not take advantage of the money that's going to be coming in this $1 billion industry.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can make your state better.
Yes.
Why would you not make your state better? And you're protecting children and you're keeping everybody safe at the same time. That's what this regulation does. Now, on the other end, if you go away and I think it's House, you said it's 328, right, Con? If you go away from that and you eliminate the regulation, then you're asking for more plugs out there. You're asking for the streets to be flooded, with these products that are dangerous. Yes. You're not bringing any revenue in for your state. So to me and Eric, this is like a no-brainer. Like, let's figure it out. I think the governor's trying to do that with his council. Let's figure it out and let's move forward and then everybody wins in the end, right?
I think so. And that's the last piece that I was going to ask you is about that council, because I know that you guys specifically on your social media pages, Carolina High Life on Instagram and everywhere else as well, check them out, that you were speaking specifically about folks, right, to give their opinion, because you guys want all these ideas out there. I think that's great, right, to have, have that type of transparency. What do you guys think about the council? Like I said, I know that they're trying to get some experts, if not already have some people in mind. Maybe they've reached out to you two. I don't know. But what do you guys think in your mind would be a fair look at these products? And again, there's certain age restrictions already. But there are a lot of people, I mean, specifically Carla Cunningham, who's from Mecklenburg County, Donnie Loftus, who we reached out from Gastonia, who's a Republican. So this is a, both sides of the aisle type of thing that they are attacking. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? What would be, I guess, like the alternative or, the medium ground? Is there any?
That's a good question. First of all, we'd love to be on that council, I think, right? We've tested all the products. We have a good knowledge of all of them, and we're happy to test more.
Yes.
Anyway, I'd love to be on that council. That's all jokes aside. I think, and I tell this, and Eric's heard me say this a million times, but I think that the toothpaste is already out of the tube, right? I mean, we're not going back anywhere. It's going to be hard to go back. Let's put it that way. So there's only one way forward, and that's through regulation.
That's the right way.
And that's the right way to go. That's the way we have to go. If you're going backwards, again, you're reintroducing all these issues back into, the society. So I think what Governor Stein is doing is great, because he's saying, let's just not have a knee-jerk reaction, and let's say this is what the law is, this is how we're going to police it, this is what the fines are, blah, blah, blah. He's taking it's like 6 months, right? He's saying, let's get a group of experts together. Me and Eric are happy to join this crew if you'd like us to. But let's get a group of experts together and let's actually research this and look what they're doing in other states.
Yes.
And look how they're policing things, right? And then let's come up with some laws, and then let's vote on those laws. So I think what he's doing is the best way forward. Honestly, I applaud him. And I think you're right, Con. We all got to speak out. We all got to talk about how important this is, even if you don't partake yourself.
Somebody
Just
does.
somebody does,
Yeah,
or just the safety of
absolutely.
your children, or your sister's children, or and your state, right? It's gonna bring revenue into your state. It's gonna create jobs. You got to have people that go around and inspect or do audits on things, or administrative people that are policing these licenses or charging the right fee for this license. You're going to create jobs with this regulation. So again, it's a no-brainer to us, and it's a win-win for everyone.
Love that, guys. Last thing, anything else that I'm missing that you guys wanted to get across that's important to you? Anything that comes true to that?
I mean, what we've been saying the whole time. Obviously, we'd love for you to shop with us.
Yeah.
To come to Carolina High Life.
But wherever you go,
Yeah,
just make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be. Make sure that you the tests are right. Read your papers
read
on
the
there.
labels.
Yeah, read the labels. Just read what
Do
you're
your
putting
own
in your body.
research.
Yes, exactly.
Because
That's so important.
There's a lot of bad actors out there. There's a ton of bad actors.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're talking about, honestly. They have no clue. They're just trying to make money on this new hemp industry in North Carolina. Just do your research. I don't care if you I want you to come to us, obviously, but go to somewhere reputable, go to a good, trusted source.
Yes.
Do your own research. Don't just put anything in your body.
Yes, for
sure.
sure.
Because there's a lot of BS out there right now.
Be safe.
Honestly.
Be healthy about what you do.
Right.
I love that, guys. Some great advice, just to let folks know, and really educating people on, because like I said, it's a discussion that we don't have very openly. Obviously, we see it politicized and in Raleigh and in places sometimes that people can't get to, but it's good to have the conversation here on WCNC Plus. So thank you, Drew and Eric, owners of Carolina High Life Dispensary. Go and check them out if that's what you would love to do. Sounds like their products are amazing, organic things that, if you want to take some time, obviously something you're able to do. So thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you for having us.